Hello everyone, welcome to English class. In this class, we will be learning pronoun. Pronoun. Now, pronoun is a part of speech. One thing you should know is that part of speech is under grammar. Grammar is a component of one of the components of English studies. It's one of the parts that makes up English studies. And in grammar, we have parts of speech. Under part of speech, we have eight parts of speech. We have the noun, we have the pronoun, we have the verb, we have the adverb, we have the adjective, we have the conjunction, and also we have the preposition, and lastly interjection. So today we will be learning the second part of speech, which is pronoun. Now, what is the meaning of pronoun? Meaning of pronoun. Pronoun is a word that is used to replace a noun, to avoid repetition. I would say that pronoun literally makes life easier. So pronouns are words that is used to replace a noun to avoid repetition. Now I'm going to give you examples so that you can be able to understand what I just said. So for example, we have example 1, we have blessing. Blessing is a student. Blessing is a student. Blessing loves reading. Blessing loves reading. Blessing passes all our exams. Now this is sentence 1. It says Blessing is a student. Blessing loves reading. Blessing passes all her exams. Now you can see that the noun in the sentence is repetitive. So we keep repeating the noun and it's making the sentence sound awkward or odd. For you to avoid this repetition of the noun blessing, because this is the name of a person. So for you to avoid the repetition of this noun, you have to introduce the pronoun. So the pronoun for a girl is she. So when we introduce the pronoun into the sentence, we say blessing is a student. She loves reading. She loves reading. She passes all her exams. Very good. Now you get to see the difference between these two sentences. In this second sentences where we use pronoun, you notice that it goes straight to the point and there's no repetition at all. Unlike this where we have to repeat the noun over and over and over again. So I can say again that pronoun literally makes life easy. In terms of where you do not even know the name of the individual or the person, you can use the pronoun until when you get to know the name of the person. So let's repeat the meaning of pronoun again. Pronoun is a word that is used to replace a noun to avoid repetition. Good. Now let's move on to the types of pronoun. Now, the first type of pronoun we'll be learning is the personal pronoun. What is the personal pronoun? These are words used to refer to people, places, and things. I'll repeat again. Personal pronouns are words used to refer to people, places, and things. So personal pronoun replaces the noun that has been given to people, places, and things, so you would not repeat it over and over again when you're making or saying a word to someone else. Now, example of personal pronoun: we have I, we have he, we have she, we have they. Now, one thing you should know is this: personal pronoun is positioned in two different ways. We have the subject pronouns and we have the object pronoun. First of all, what is subject? What is object? Now, subject is the doer of the action in a sentence. Subject is the doer of the action in the sentence. Subject comes before the verb. A subject comes before the verb and it is the head of the sentence. So when I say subject is the doer of the action, doer of the action of this in the sentence, and also the head, and it comes before the verb, I mean this. For example, you're giving a sentence, Sharon played in school. Sharon played in school today. Now, you can see the sentence Sharon played in school today. Now, this Sharon is the subject. One, because it comes before the verb played, and it's also the head, and it's actually a noun. So subject is the doer. Sharon is the doer of the action what played in this sentence. Now, what is object? Object is the receiver of the action. Object is the receiver of the action. So we have a sentence like Ade ate rice. Ade ate rice. Now, Ade is the subject, right? Good. Then rice is the object. Rice is the object. Ade ate rice. Very good. Now, let's move on to the examples of subject pronoun and object pronoun. What it simply means using this example is that the subject pronoun will be at the beginning of the sentence, and whenever you see this pronoun that falls under the object pronoun, it should be after the verb. Object comes after the verb, while subject comes before the verb. Now, example of subject pronoun: we have I, we have you, we have he, we have she, we have we have they. Now, example of object pronoun: we have me, we have you for you. Then the object pronoun for he, we have him. The object pronoun for she, we have her. The object pronoun for we have us. The object pronoun for they, we have them. So whenever you see these words, please be able to identify their position. So take, for instance, we have I came back home late. I came back home late. Now, this is a pronoun. It is actually the subject and is a pronoun. And it's not just a pronoun, it is also a subject pronoun. For instance, if you have another sentence, the teacher called me. The teacher called me. You see, this me comes after the verb call. So it is not a subject pronoun, but it is an object pronoun. Now you have a word, John followed Joshua. John followed Joshua. Now these are two nouns and it is used in the sentence. We want to replace these nouns to pronoun. First of all, we are going to replace John with a what? A subject pronoun. All right, now if you look at this table, where's the subject pronoun for John? We have he, because John is a boy. So the word H-E-E is the pronoun used for John. Now we're going to write he followed Joshua. Now you can see that the noun has been replaced with the subject pronoun. He followed Joshua. Now we want to replace Joshua with what? Yes, correct. With the object pronoun. What is the object pronoun for he? The object pronoun for he is him. So we're going to replace it because Joshua is actually standing in as the object, the receiver of the action. So we're going to still put he, we'll put he followed. Then the object pronoun for he is what? Him. So he followed him. So we have the subject pronoun he, then we have the object pronoun him. So this is a very good example. You can go ahead to make sentence with the subject pronoun and the object pronoun. Now let's move on to the next type of pronoun. Now the next type of pronoun is the possessive pronoun. The possessive pronoun. What is the possessive pronoun? So these are pronouns. These are pronouns used to show ownership. These are pronouns used to show ownership or possession. Possessive pronouns are pronouns that are used to show ownership or possession. Possessive pronoun tells us that something in the sentence belongs to someone. Now, example of possessive pronoun, we have my, we have your, we have is, we have are, we have their. We also have mine also. Then we have our. We have our. Alright, so these are examples of possessive pronoun. In a scenario where you say this is my school. This sentence shows that the school is yours, that is, you go to the school. So the word my shows ownership or possession of the noun school. So this is my school. So the word my is a possessive pronoun. Now, under these examples, it falls under two types of possessive pronoun. So we have two types of possessive pronoun, which we'll be learning right now. Types of possessive pronoun. We'll learn this for better understanding on how to use a possessive pronoun. So the first type of possessive pronoun is the possessive adjective. The possessive adjective. It is not a different type of pronoun. It is the same examples that have been given here, but it falls under different category. Now, the possessive adjective comes before the noun. It tells us who owns the item. Now, example, we get to see example. This is. So examples of possessive pronoun, we have my, we have your, we have is, we have are, we have their, we also have our. Now, when you make sentence with it, you say this is my book. Sentence 2, that is a bag. So you can see that the possessive pronoun, that is possessive adjective, comes before the noun. So it tells us who owns the book. So it said this is my book. This is a possessive adjective, which is actually a possessive pronoun, and that is a book. Then let's move on to the next type of pronoun, which is the possessive pronoun itself. The possessive pronoun itself. Now, what is the difference between the possessive adjective and the possessive pronoun? So the possessive adjective is that pronoun that comes before the noun. It tells us who owns the item described in the sentence. While the possessive pronoun itself can stand alone in a sentence. It can literally stand alone in a sentence. So we have mine. Example of a possessive pronoun, we have mine. We have ours. We have is. We have ours. We have theirs. So now to make sentence with it, we can say, this is mine. This is mine. You can also say, this is hers. This is hers. So you can see that this possessive pronoun, there is no noun to it. There is no noun close to it or before it. So that is why it's called the possessive pronoun. They can literally stand on their own. Now let's move on to the next type of pronoun. The third type of pronoun is the reflexive pronoun. The reflexive pronoun. This pronoun are used when the subject and the objects are the same. Where the subject and the object are the same in the sentence. That is when we use a reflexive pronoun. Now I'm going to give you an example for a better understanding. So example of a reflexive pronoun, we have myself, yourself, himself, herself. We also have ourselves, yourselves, their selves. Now these we also have itself. We have itself. Now these are examples of a reflexive pronoun. Now using it in a sentence, we will say, sentence one, say, I did my homework myself. I did my homework myself. Now in this sentence, you get to see that the action done by the receiver of the action is the same person as the doer of the action. That is, the subject and the object is the same. Or take for instance, you can say, are they, this is a very wrong sentence, but it will make you understand what I'm saying. You can say, are they played football? Are they played football? Or by are they played football or by are they? This is a very wrong sentence, right? Good. But I want you to understand that this are they, the first are they is the subject, while the second are they is the objects. Now both of them are the same. So we need to introduce the reflexive pronoun for the objects. Then we say, they played football all by himself. All by himself. So we have introduced the reflexive pronoun for this kind of sentence. We can also make another sentence here. So this sentence one. Sentence two, Sharon cooked the food herself. That is, this action was done by Sharon. There was no help at all. She was the only one that did this action, which is what? Cook. So Sharon cooked the food herself. You can as well make other examples of this. You can as well make other sentences using the examples of a reflexive pronoun. So like I said earlier, these pronouns are used when the subject and the object are the same. Now let's move on to the next type of pronoun. The fourth type of pronoun is the demonstrative pronoun. Demonstrative. Demonstrative pronoun. This pronoun points to a specific, this pronoun point to a specific thing. Demonstrative pronoun is specific. Now, what I mean by specific, take for instance, you keep your book on the table, and probably you would want somebody to figure it out. You're trying to get it, but you cannot. But somebody is there that can be able to get the book for you. So sorry, the bag for you. Now the thing is, you have to point it out, so the person, so that the person can be able to get the bag. Now, for instance, your bag is not the only bag on that table, but you want the person to get your bag for you. So what do? You point to your bag. That is what you do. You point straight to the bag and you say, okay, that is my bag. Now, the pronoun you've used in that sentence is that, and that is a demonstrative pronoun. So examples of demonstrative pronoun, we have this, we have that, we have this, and we have those. So these are pronouns that we use to point to specific people, places, or things. Now, this demonstrative pronoun is divided into two. We have the singular demonstrative pronoun and the plural demonstrative pronoun. So for the singular demonstrative pronoun, we have this, THIS, this. Then also we have those. Then for the plural demonstrative pronoun, we have that. And then we have this. All right. So the plural demonstrative pronoun for this is this. This, these. Then the plural demonstrative pronoun for those is that. So we have this, has singular and plural. Then we have that and those. So this is the singular and plural, and this is the singular and plural for this demonstrative pronoun. Now, one thing you should know is that this THIS is used to point out something that is very close to you. Something that is very, very close to you. Something that is near to you. Why that is used to point out something that is probably far away from you. So take for instance, you say, this is my chair. If you are using this demonstrative pronoun this, it simply means that the chair is very, very close to you. Probably you're showing your friend, this is my chair, meaning it is very close to you. Now, if you use the demonstrative pronoun that is my chair, it shows that the chair is not close by, probably a bit far away from you. So when you say that, is my chair. You are literally pointing to the chair and it is a bit far away from you. We also have this. We also have this sentence 2. We also have this THESE, which is the plural for THRS. This. These are my friends. These are my friends. So you don't say these, THIS. These are my friends. No, that's wrong. You don't say this because this word THIS is a singular demonstrative pronoun. You use it for a singular object. Now you get to say these are my friends. We also have those. Those are my friends. Now, those simply means that your friends are far away. Same thing as that. Then this simply means that your friends are close by, but it is in the plural form. So this is an example of demonstrative pronoun and how to use it in a sentence correctly. So like I said earlier, this pronoun point to specific thing, people, and places. And what are the pronouns that are used to point out specific people, places, and things? We have this, THRS, this. Then we have that. Then we have this, THESE, these. And then we have those, THOSE. Like I said earlier, THIS is singular and THESE, this, is the plural for this. And then we have that and those, which are singular and plural. And when you use them, you use this and these for something very close by, very near to you. When you use that and those for something far away, when you are pointing out to something far away. Now let's move on to the next type of pronoun. We have the interrogative pronoun as the next type of pronoun. Interrogative pronoun. Now, what are interrogative pronoun? These are pronoun. These are pronoun that are used. These are pronoun that are used to ask questions. So this is the simplest definition for interrogative pronoun. These are pronouns that are used to ask questions. I call it the 5W pronoun. The 5W pronoun. Now, example of an interrogative pronoun, which are the 5W, we have who, we have what, we have which, we have whom, and lastly we have whose. So these are the 5 W's, which are the interrogative pronoun. We use this pronoun to ask questions. It's commonly used by humans, especially in a scenario where probably like an interview or questioning time, where you're in a classroom and after the teacher teaches, the teacher begins to ask questions, right? Good. So the teacher uses these pronouns to ask questions. So for instance, you can say sentence, let's make sentence with who. Who is knocking? Who is knocking? It ends with the question mark. Then sentence 2, we have what. So let's make a sentence with what. What is your name? What is your name? Then the next is which. Which of them is your friend. Which of them is your friend? Then we have whom. Whom did you meet? Whom did you meet yesterday? All these are questions. Then lastly, we have whose. Whose phone? Whose phone is this? So these are interrogative pronouns. So whenever you ask the question and these words are used, have it in mind that those words that have been used to ask the question is an interrogative pronoun. And also when you want to ask a question, you have to use an interrogative pronoun, so you can be able to identify this pronoun whenever you come across a question that starts with the 5W. Now let's move on to the next type of pronoun. The next type of pronoun is the relative pronoun. The relative pronoun. Now, what is the relative pronoun? Relative pronouns. Relative pronouns are pronouns. Relative pronouns are pronouns that join a clause. That join a clause to a noun or pronoun. So relative pronoun are the word that we use to join a clause either to another clause or to a noun or pronoun. Now examples of the relative pronoun, we have who, we have which, we have whom, we have whose, we have that. So these are the major examples of relative pronoun. So like I said earlier, that relative pronouns join a clause to a noun or a pronoun. So what is a clause? A clause is a group of words that has a subject and a verb. A clause is a group of words that has a subject and a verb. So we have the word he ran away. He ran away. Now this is a group of words. This is actually a sentence, and this sentence has a subject and a verb. Majorly a clause must have a verb. So we have the subject, then we have the verb ran. So this is a clause. So the relative pronouns are used to join a clause to a noun or a pronoun. And these are the relative pronouns that are used to join a clause to a noun or a pronoun. So take for instance, we have, I'm going to break this down so we can be able to understand it properly. So we have sentence one. Sentence one, this is the boy. He won the prize. This is the boy. He won the prize. Now, these are two clauses. Now, I want to join these two clauses to make it one sentence. So, I want to join both of them together using the relative pronoun. So, I would say, this is the boy who. So I'm going to use the relative pronoun who. This is the boy who won the prize. This is the boy who won the prize. Sentence two, we have that is the girl. That is the girl. Our father is a doctor. That is the girl. Our father is a doctor. Now we want to use the relative pronoun to join these clauses together. You get to see the pronouns. So these are, sorry, you get to see the verbs in these two sentences. That is the verb. Our father is a verb. So these are clauses. Now I want to use the relative pronoun to join these clauses together. So we get to say that is the girl. Then we use the relative pronoun whose father is a doctor. So you see in this sentence that we've joined these two clauses together. You can say the boy who won the prize. For instance, instead of you starting the sentence as this is the boy, you can say the boy who won the prize. So what have you done? You have equally joined the clauses who won the prize to the boy, which is the noun. So relative pronouns are pronouns that join clause to a noun or pronoun. Now let's move on to the last type of pronoun. Now, the last type of pronoun is the indefinite pronoun. The indefinite pronoun. Indefinite pronoun. Now, before I tell you the definition, I want us to have a very short recap. When we were discussing or talking about learning demonstrative pronoun, we get to know that demonstrative pronoun point out to specific things. So we get to know who or what is being talked about or discussed in the sentence. Why for indefinite pronoun? Indefinite pronoun is the opposite of demonstrative pronoun. So indefinite pronouns are pronouns that do not refer to specific people, places, or things. So let's write that down. The definition, the meaning of indefinite pronoun. So these are pronouns. These are pronouns, these are words. These are pronouns that do not refer to specific. Do not refer to specific people, places, or things. For demonstrative pronoun, we get to know who or what is being discussed or talked about in the sentence. While for indefinite pronoun, we do not know the who or the what that is being talked about in the sentence. That is why it says it does not refer to specific people, places, or things. Now, example of indefinite pronoun. Example of indefinite pronoun. We have someone. We have someone, somebody. We have anyone, anybody. We have everyone, everybody. Then we have no one. We have no one. Then nobody. So these are indefinite pronouns that are used for people. Then the pronouns that are used for people. Then the pronouns that are used for things. The pronouns that are used for things, we have something, we have anything, we have everything, and lastly, we have nothing. So these are pronouns that are used for things. Then we have pronouns that are used for quantity. So we have pronoun all, we have few, we have some, we have many. So these are pronouns that are used for quantity. Now, if you are to make a sentence with the indefinite pronoun, so sentence 1, If you have to make a sentence with the indefinite pronoun, so we have sentence one. You say someone. Someone is knocking. Someone is knocking at the door. So someone is a pronoun and someone is an indefinite pronoun. So we do not know who is knocking at the door. It is not specified who is at the door. Either is a male or a female or your friend or your neighbor. So it is not specified in this sentence. That is why it says indefinite pronoun is that pronoun that do not refer to specific people, places, or thing. So someone is an indefinite pronoun. So we have another pronoun. Everything will be all right. Everything will be all right. Everything will be all right. So everything is not specified. We do not know which of them will be all right, but it said everything will be all right. So everything is an indefinite pronoun. Then the third example, you can say nobody came to school yesterday. Nobody came to school yesterday. So nobody is a pronoun, and it is not just a pronoun, it's an indefinite pronoun. So nobody is an indefinite pronoun. You can as well take out the examples of the pronoun and make sentence with the examples of the indefinite pronoun. Now let's take some sentences and identify the pronouns in that sentences. In this exercise, we are going to identify the pronouns, that is the type of pronoun used to make up the sentence. So now I want you to sit tight and pay full attention as we identify this pronoun. The first sentence says, she is my best friend. She is my best friend. Now, the pronoun used in the sentence is she, and she is a personal pronoun. Also, we have another pronoun in this sentence, my best friend. My is also a pronoun, but for now, we will be focusing on she. So she is my best friend. She's my best friend. The word she is a pronoun. It is a personal pronoun. Then sentence 2. This book is mine. This book is mine. Now we are identifying this pronoun mine, which is a possessive pronoun. Now the next sentence says, the boy hurt himself while playing. The boy hurt himself while playing. The word himself is a reflexive pronoun. Sentence 4. Those are my shoes. Those are my shoes. Now, those is a pronoun we'll be identifying in the sentence, and those is a demonstrative pronoun. Now, sentence 5. Who is knocking at the door? Who is knocking at the door? So we are identifying who. Who is an interrogative pronoun. Sentence 6. The man who is teaching us is my uncle. The man who is teaching us is my uncle. So we are identifying the who in the sentence, and this is a relative pronoun in this sentence because it is different from sentence 5. Sentence 5 starts the sentence, but sentence 5, the who in sentence 5 comes in form of a question. It is actually asking a question. So the who in sentence 5 is an interrogative pronoun because it is used to ask a question. While for sentence 6, the who used in sentence 6 is not used to ask a question. Instead, it is used to merge a clause to a noun or a pronoun. And this is actually a noun. The man is a noun. So it is merging this clause to the noun. So the who is a relative pronoun. Lastly, we have sentence 7. Someone left their bag in the classroom. Someone left their bag in the classroom. The person is not specified. So what comes to your mind? Indefinite pronoun, correct? So someone is an indefinite pronoun. So you can as well make up sentences and try to identify the pronouns in the sentences. If you are confused at some point or you have a question, you can drop it in the comment section. I will surely give answers to your question. Also, if you are just joining us for the first time, welcome to Oya Learn, where we post educative content that will help you get better in your studies. You can do well to hit the subscribe button and also the notification bell icon to get updated, to get notified when new videos are being posted. Thank you for joining this class and thank you for learning with me.